In a world where speed limits are mere suggestions and the grocery store is reached, well, quickly, one letter has commanded more respect amongst car enthusiasts than any other, and has produced more drool from grown adults than a double bacon cheeseburger slamming onto a dinner table after one of those ridiculous juice cleanses.
You like the juice, eh?
This wide-eyed, involuntary dribble, provoked only by devilish exhaust growls and crackles so loud you can practically hear the ghost of 600 Bavarian engineers shouting in unison, and frankly, it should be listed as a $1,200 option on the window sticker. All while declaring without mercy, the M has arrived. Born in the heat of motorsport, raised on the Autobahn, and occasionally spotted in a Starbucks drive-thru or two, buckle up, things are about to get M-powered. Back in 1972, BMW formed a covert skunk work unit of just 35 people. Their mission? Win races, lots of them. Thus, BMW Motorsport was born. A year later, they unleashed the 3.0 CSL, an aero-laden beast that dominated the Nürburgring and earned the nickname Batmobile for obvious winged reasons. 6 European touring car championships later, it was clear BMW didn't just build fast cars, they built focused weapons. Enter the M1, BMW's first and only mid-engined supercar. Developed with Lamborghini and Dallara, it was meant for Le Mans, but instead starred in its own race series, Procar, where Formula One legends like Lauda and Piquet diced it out in identical M1s. The M1 even dabbled in a Group B rally, because apparently driving it on the actual roads wasn't terrifying enough. The M535i tested the waters in 1979, blending sport and comfort. Then became the M635 CSI, aka the M6 in the US, stuffed with a detuned M1 engine and capable of 158 miles per hour in a car the size of a living room. But 1985, it changed everything. The first M5, quiet as a librarian on the outside, but under the hood, a hand-built M1 engine just waiting to frighten passengers. Then came the E30 M3, built to homologate BMW's DTM ambitions. Angular, angry, and barely street legal, it was supposed to sell 5,000 units, and it became a performance icon. As the M division cruised into the 90s, they brought polish. The E34 M5 carried the torch of elegance and power, even spawning a touring version, which of course was never sold in America. And of course, as we cruise forward, there is no doubt that you've been waiting for this next part. The E36 M3 has arrived. No more flared arches, just sleek lines and a silky straight six. It was less shouty, but still really sharp. In 1993, the division that was formerly known as BMW Motorsport officially became BMW M. And in 1999, they outright took a victory at Le Mans with the V12 LMR. BMW really hit their stride with the M line by cruising into 2000, giving us an E46 M3, arguably one of the more iconic and favorable amongst enthusiasts. The E46 M3 would be the last naturally aspirated straight six and arguably the finest M3 that was ever built. Nearly 90,000 were sold. So how do you top that? Then came the lunacy, a 500 horsepower V10 in an E60 M5. It revved to over 8,200 RPM and made noises like a Formula One car. The M6 joined the party with more carbon and options, manual included unless you lived in the wrong country. Finally, the E92 M3 brought a V8 S65 naturally aspirated and screaming to 8,400 RPM, the last of its kind before turbos crashed the party. Now, a decade after, 2010 brought with it the unthinkable, an M SUV. The X5M and the X6M, all-wheel drive twin turbos and strangely brilliant. The F10 M5 ditched the V10 for twin turbo V8, heavier but faster. And then, of course, came the cult favorite, the 1M Coupe. Small, manual, tail-happy, instant, and classic. Now, both got turbocharged inline sixes and electric steering, which caused some enthusiast panic. but they proved their worth, especially on track. In 2022, M turned 50. Nearly every BMW had been M'd except the poor Z1. The G87 M3 arrived in 2023, still rear-wheel drive, still manual, still brilliant. And here's a little tidbit of information that it actually holds a Guinness record for the world's longest drift. You might be saying, how long was that drift? 8 hours on one tank of fuel, sort of. And a man named Johann Schwartz, who apparently has left no tires. Now enter the G90 M5, the first M plug-in hybrid. 717 horsepower, nearly 5,400 pounds, and somehow still ferocious. And yes, the M5 Touring is finally coming back to America. Because let's be honest, who doesn't like a good old wagon with about 700 horsepower in it? BMW has always stood at an intersection of motorsport and madness. Where AMG chased raw power and Audi focused on tech, M chased perfection through balance. From the CSL Batmobile to a V10 Screamer to turbocharged monsters, and of course, hybrids, M has stayed true to one goal. And that goal was to deliver the ultimate driving machine. On road, on track, or, you guessed it, in a Starbucks drive-thru. So which M car is your all-time favorite? Drop it in the comments, and if this made your pulse spike even a little bit, if you're still alive, give us a like and subscribe for more Gearhead content. Thanks for hanging out with us. I'm Scott from Koenig, and we will catch you on the next one.